Hi and good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thanks for joining the meeting. So today we are going to discuss about the planning for our new project, which is develop a new game applications. So before we dive into a specific task, we need to establish how we approach decision making throughout this process. There are different methods such as rational decision making, bounded rationality, and intuitive decision making. Each has its merits, so let's discuss which one would best for this project. So let's start with rational decision making. Mastura, can you explain how that would work for us?
Yes, definitely. Making a rational decision is an organized, systematic process and importantly to decide which shows the best results and outcome. When it comes to a new game, for example, that start with identifying the key decision we had to make, for which platform should this tool be developed on, and what is essential and the key, can anything be cut? And then we have to collect the data, such as market trends, user preferences, technical constraints, and early budget estimation, etc. So once we had all the facts that we need, every choice was attentively and responsibly appraised. We would debate over which programming languages to use and discuss the merits of starting mobile first or desktop first. The idea is to go with the one that results in an overall best outcome. So once we agree on what can be done, then listen with our members and proceed cautiously so as to avoid making a real clanger and avoid obligation in the future.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for the breakdown. So Tasha, I know you have been advocating for the bounded rationality. How would that apply for this project?
Right. So bounded rationality is a bit different. The
Mm-hmm.
idea is that we don't always have the luxury time or perfect information. And when it's come to building software or a game, we might not be able to gather every bit of data or consider every alternative, especially if we're working under deadline. For example, we choosing a framework for the games or software. We could spend weeks analyzing performance and cost, but realistically, we might need to make a good enough decision quickly based on what are already familiar or readily available. In this case, we might settle for a solution that not perfect but gets us moving forward. We focus on getting things done efficiently while acknowledging that we can always achieve perfect outcome.
Mhm. That makes
That makes
sense,
sense,
especially when
especially
time
when
is a
time is a
factor.
factor.
In
In
fast-paced
fast
environment, getting stuck in overanalyze can be counterproductive. So, Najwa, how about intuitive decision making? How does that fit into the picture for this project?
Intuitive decision making can be particularly useful in creative or rapidly changing projects like game development or software design. It is when we rely on our gut feelings, often driven by past experiences. For example,
Mhm.
if we have built similar application before, we might instinctively know whether certain design elements will work or which user interface components are more intuitive. In game development, for instance, when choosing the overall aesthetic or gameplay mechanics, intuition could give us, especially when there's no clear right or wrong answer. Similarly, when we are deciding how often software should flow for company management, we might rely on what's worked well in past systems rather than diving into a complex analysis.
Okay, that's a great point. Intuitions, especially combined with experience, can help us make a quick, effective decisions in area where there are no one's fit all answers. Now that we have covered all these approaches, which do you think that fit for our project best?
I think for a project of this scale, and especially since we are creating something brand new, I still believe in keeping rational decision making. We require a a more formal and well-structured approach, especially for critical decisions like which platform to target or how shall we budget our resources. Given everything that is on the line, we cannot afford to not unpack what this means.
True, but let's be practical too. We can't afford to spend endless time evaluate every single detail. This is where bounded rationally comes in, choosing options that are good enough and moving forward. We need to balance quality with speed, especially if we're up against a type's launch day.
I agree with both of you, but I think there will be moments where we will need to rely on our instinct, especially when we are dealing with creative decisions or user experience elements. Sometimes we just know what feels right for a game or a software interface, and that instinct can save us a lot of time.
It sounds like we all need a hybrid approach for the big high impact decisions like the technical architecture or budgets. Like the technical architecture will use the rational decision making process for smaller decisions, or when we are limited by time or resources, bounded rationality will keep us moving. And for creative and design related choices, we'll trust our institutions and rely on past experience. Does that sound reasonable for everyone?
Absolutely.
Also,
Okay, great. We'll stay flexible but grounded in solid decision making practices. Thanks for all your inputs, everyone. Let's get to work on the first step of this project, and thank you for all your cooperations.
Alright.
Welcome.
Bye.
Bye.